Hello and welcome to the SCFD Wonder-Cast. My name is Emma. I will be your host, and in this brand new podcast, I will introduce you to some of the amazing cast of characters who work behind the scenes at some of our favorite arts, culture, and science organizations right here in the Denver metro area. So, what is the SCFD and why are we starting a podcast? Those are both great questions that I would love to answer for you. The SCFD stands for the Scientific and Cultural Facilities District, and that name is just sort of a long, fancy way of saying that we are a tax district that funds arts, culture, and science nonprofits here in the Denver metro area. Our tax district encompasses 7 counties, so that is Adams, Arapahoe, Boulder, Broomfield, Denver, Douglas, and Jefferson. Nailed it. And what that really means is that nearly 300 nonprofit organizations, from small volunteer-run organizations to the mega cultural institutions of our region, receive project and general operating support from SCFD and the tax that we collect here in those 7 counties. So how does it work? Another great question. Thanks for asking. You probably didn't, but I'm going to tell you anyway. We collect 1 penny on every $10 in sales and use tax collected in the district. So if you ever look on your receipt after you buy like a card from a local company, you might see SCFD on your receipt. That's your pennies coming to our tax district and being distributed out into the arts and cultural community. So I always like to picture my pennies sort of like rolling out of my pocket, down the streets, across the hallways, through the windows, and straight into the organizations that I love. So that's kind of how it works, and we're able to do this thanks to the support of residents of the district who have now voted to reauthorize SCFD 3 times. So it's thanks to the residents that we're able to do this, and that the arts and culture and science organizations here have regular funding. The organizations use this funding for things like free days and classes and discounted admission. So at the end of the day, it really is all about our motto of culture for all and making these experiences available and accessible to residents who live here. And as for me, again, my name is Emma. I am the communications manager here at SCFD, and I am really excited to be here. This is my first time podcasting, so you might have to bear with me as we all learn and grow alongside each other, but I am a storyteller at heart, and so I am thrilled to be able to do this. I'm also a musician, which is sort of what led me to SCFD. So I started playing the violin when I was 12, as many 6th graders do, and I continued playing all the way through college. So I was concert mistress at my small university's chamber orchestra, and I absolutely loved it. I learned so much from being a musician. I think that experience really taught me how to play with others, how to learn, how to lead, how to listen, and I think it gave me a greater appreciation for classical music and for making art with others. I think it's something that sticks with me even to this day. And again, it's what drew me to SCFD and the work that we do here in the Denver metro area. But beyond that, my connection to this cultural community extends way far back. I grew up here in the Denver metro area, so I grew up going to many of the organizations that we fund without even really knowing it at the time. My grandparents always took us to the Denver Zoo Conservation Alliance and the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and I spent several of my teen years playing in the Front Range Youth Symphony at the Arvada Center. So I think that SCFD funded organizations have touched my life in a lot of ways and to an extent have made me who I am. And I know that sounds sort of cheesy and maybe too on brand, but I think it's really true. At least it's true for me, and I think for a lot of people who live here, because having access to these organizations and these free programs gives people an opportunity to experience different viewpoints and try different art forms, go out into the community and do citizen science projects. It's all of that and more. And I think beyond that, one of my favorite parts of working at SCFD has been meeting some of the people behind the scenes at our funded organizations. They have really inspired me, and I think it's really, really interesting to hear what exactly goes into creating the wonder and the amazing programming that we get to experience. And so I am excited to introduce you to some of those awesome people and to keep expanding the cast of characters of the SCFD universe. So that's what I hope to do with this podcast. And all of that is kind of to say that SCFD is a unique funding model, but it's even more unique because of the people who are putting in the work every day to provide the arts, culture, and science to residents. So let's peek behind the curtain and let's learn a little bit about some of these organizations, how they work, what a day in the life looks like, what we can learn from organizations. Um, as such, there's a lot to look forward to in this first season of the SCFD Wonder-Cast, from interviews with a zookeeper at the Denver Zoo Conservation Alliance, to a local film producer, to a metalsmith at the Boulder Metalsmithing Association. The hope is to kind of run the gamut of a lot of the organizations that we fund and show you who they are and what they do. So I hope you'll stick with me and tune in to the rest of the SCFD Wondercast, and I hope it inspires you to find some wonder to put in your day as well. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time for our very first interview.